There's a wellness revolution that is taking place in our society. There are more books on wellness taking place right now than there's ever been written, just in the last several years. In fact, they call this the wellness revolution, the next trillion-dollar industry. So what is your wellness solution? We got to go back to just some core principles. We are a self-organizing body, that we are self-developing and self-repairing. But what organizes us, what helps in the development, and what helps in repair? Our nervous system is the system, and we don't give it any thought process about that. We just kind of take it for granted. And you could have a nervous system that's functioning at a lowered state of energy, a lowered state of health, not getting the proper message, so you're not going to be creating an organizing system within your body. You're not going to be developing as proper as it should be, and you're not going to be repairing as healthy as you could be. And then over a period of years, guess what happens? You have a sickness or a dis-ease process taking place within your body. And then you go and you watch television that says you got this condition or this ache and pain, and you can take this pill for it. And that's what creates more and more health problems, because you take one pill, you start to attach it with another one, and then you don't even realize how that's affecting your entire body. In fact, most of the people that make the medications have no idea how that's going to react or affect your body, not only in the short term, but in the long term. So we want to set up this environment. We want to make sure that we've got a wellness model and not in a state of breakdown or repair. The pain model was never used for wellness, because only about 10% of your nervous system is for feeling. So we want to make sure that our wellness of our spine, that we've got properly flowing curves. If you've never had your spine checked, and let's just say that you have a pelvis that's out of balance, that is going to be constant stress on your spine and nervous system, twisting your back. It can lead to bulging of discs, can lead to pressure on the nerves, and these nerves go into your abdominal organs. Now, in the living principle, if you're looking at organizing, development, and repair, and you've got decreased nerve supply flowing along these areas, are those systems going to, as the cells die off and replace, are they going to be organized? Or do they start to develop abnormal cells? Are they going to be developing properly so that your abdominal organs are working the way they were designed? Are they going to be repairing as toxins or things come into your body? You're going to be able to replace them with healthy cells. So you need to make sure your nervous system is not being shut off into the abdominal area or down into the legs. Patients will come in with things called sciatica, okay, which is a severe pain that goes down the leg. That can come from a lot of different levels of the spine and nervous system, and if they take a medication for it, is that going to actually fix the problem? Now, that's kind of like coming in with the hoses and the axes. Okay? It's not going to fix the underlying problem. We need to make sure that the torque or twist of the pelvis is actually coming into better balance. Now, there are natural laws that are always putting stress on our body. The natural law of gravity. So if our spine is off, it's always going to be pushing our spine forward. So we want to make sure that we're supporting our spine and nervous system properly. We want to make sure that the breakdown is not higher than the repair process. So in this model of looking at the fireman versus the carpenter, we want to rebuild our spine and nervous system. This is a plastic model of different phases of degeneration or deterioration within the spine and nervous system. And if you have a normal spine, you can have an injury that can cause the spine to go what's called a phase 1 degeneration. Phase 1, you start to see some weakening of the little shock-absorbing disc pads. You start to see pressure on the nerves, and it starts to create slow adhesion, so the spine is not moving, bending, twisting, and it starts to put traction or stretching or compression of these nerves. If this goes on for 5 to 20 years, your body is pretty smart. It wants to put extra strength and vitality into the body. So it will lay down extra calcium into these areas, extra bone spurs to try and make it stronger. Think of this as like a callus on your hand. And what we do is medically, we call this degenerative disc disease or osteoarthritis. And it's called wear and tear arthritis. And wear and tear is because the body was not in proper balance, not in proper alignment, and over a period of time it creates stress. If the spine continues to progress like this, do you think if a person has a withered up nerve like this, they're going to live very long? If that went to your heart, or your lungs, or your kidneys, or your liver, or your thyroid, what do you think is going to happen to the organizing the developing and the repairing of those areas. So you've got to make sure that the nervous system is flowing uninterrupted from above, down, and from the inside out. So we want to make sure that we have proper movement and motion to our spine. If this was, using this as just a model of the spine, if you push down on it, it's nice and straight, it's strong. If you have a shift in some way, just a little shift, and you keep putting gravity, it's going to keep giving at the same area over and over. And that's how you create these stress processes on the spine. So that's going to cause wear and tear. Now, if the spine is locked in some way where you start to bend your head and you have these vertebrae from old injuries or poor posture and they move as one solid piece, we need to make sure that we make a very precise alignment adjustment to that area, start to create movement and motion back to the spine, and allow the body to work like it's supposed to. Movement and motion is very, very important to make sure that we're strong and healthy.